Hello dear students, today we'll be starting with chapter number 2 of chemistry, that is matter around us pure? So here it is, a question has been asked, that is the matter around us pure or not? So our answer is, generally the matter around us is impure, because we encounter many of the things in everyday life. They are not made up of only one type of particle or one kind of atom or molecule. So as a result they are considered as impure, because a pure substance means that it is having a particular type of or a same kind of atoms, molecules, ions, or any such particle. For example, if we are talking about pure water, then it should contain only H2O molecules. But if the water which we are getting in our homes or in rivers, seas, they have many salts dissolved in it or impurities in it. As a result, it is considered impure. Also, if we are talking about particular metal, copper metal, iron metal, that is pure metal. But if it is containing any of the additive or anything is added in it, rather than the copper atoms, it is having any other atom also, then it is considered as impure. The air which we breathe, it is a mixture of gases. So we can say that 90% of the things around us are considered impure, because they are not containing only one kind of particles. So in this chapter we shall be studying about pure substances, then mixtures, the types of mixtures, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Then we'll be studying about colloids and suspensions also, element, compound and mixture. All the properties of these three also we'll be studying in this chapter. So students, now let's start our chapter number 2, that is matter around us pure? So how can we judge whether a substance is pure or not? For a common person, a pure thing is without adulteration. That means a common man will say a substance is pure when there is no mixing in it. But for a scientist like us, we are science students. So for us, it means that the substance is containing only one type of constituent particles. Maybe it may be atom, molecule, ion, but the constituent particle should be same. That means their chemical nature should be same. So a pure substance, the definition says, is it consists of a single type of particle, that is the chemical nature is same. Now let's discuss about mixture. Then what is a mixture? Mixtures are constituted by more than one kind of pure form of matter or substance. That means if we are mixing two or more pure forms of matter, then they are termed as mixture. For example, if you are mixing pure sugar, if you are taking sugar crystals and you are mixing it in pure distilled water, so distilled water will be having only H2O molecules, that is a pure substance, whereas sugar will be having crystals of only sugar. So when you are mixing both the pure forms, they will form a mixture, that will be sugar solution. Now a substance cannot be separated into its constituent particles by any physical process. It will always have same characteristic properties irrespective of source. For example, if we take salt and water and mix them, they can be separated by physical process, that is evaporation, while sodium chloride or water cannot be separated physically into constituent sodium and chlorine gas or hydrogen and oxygen gas. So it should be clear here that what is a mixture and what is pure substance. You cannot separate the components of a pure substance, whereas you can separate the components of mixture by physical properties or physical processes. So what happens in a pure substance, if we take an example of distilled water, which we have discussed before, H2O. So it will be having two atoms, hydrogen and oxygen, but by physical process they cannot be separated. Whereas if you are mixing sugar in water or salt in water as given in the example, then they can be separated with the help of physical process, that is evaporation. So a pure substance cannot be separated into constituent particles, whereas mixture can be separated by simple physical methods. Now we shall consider the next topic, that is types of mixtures. Here we have discussed pure substance, then mixture, and now we are going through types of mixtures. So there are mainly two types of mixtures. One is homogeneous, another is heterogeneous. See, here is a table which is showing you the differences between both the mixtures. Homogeneous mixture, in this type of mixture the substances mix uniformly throughout the solution or mixture. That means if you are taking two substances, you are mixing them and they uniformly mix with each other, that means there are no distinct boundaries or no distinction, you cannot differentiate between the two things, then it is known as homogeneous. There are no distinct boundaries between the constituent substances of the mixture. This is point number 2. And examples are salt solution, sugar solution, lemonade, etc. If you are mixing salt in water, sugar in water, you cannot see separate boundaries of sugar or salt in water. So they are considered as homogeneous. Whereas in heterogeneous, in this type of mixture, the substances do not mix uniformly throughout the mixture, and there are distinct boundaries of substances mixed in the mixture. For example, if you take sand and you dissolve in water, then after some time you will observe that sand settles down whereas water remains up. So there are different boundaries which are observed by the person. We can see that there are distinct boundaries, then it is considered heterogeneous. So examples here are also given: sodium chloride and iron fillings you can mix, salt and sulfur you can mix. So you can mix any of the substances, and if the distinct boundaries or colors or any type of distinction you can observe, then it is heterogeneous. Students, now as we have discussed about mixture and pure substance and the types of mixtures also homo and heterogeneous, so here I am showing you a picture of chalk powder and water, that is heterogeneous mixture. In this also the chalk particles are suspended, they are observed by the person, also they settle down and they can form distinct boundaries. Here are the types of pure substances which we have discussed already: elements and compounds. So in elements also there are three types: metals, non-metals and metalloids. As all of you are aware, in class 7th and 8th also about these things. Metals, for example, gold, silver, iron, copper, it is given here. And non-metals, hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine, carbon, etc. Metalloids, they behave both as metal and non-metal, so they are considered metalloids. They are boron, silicon, germanium, etc. And the second type is compounds. So compounds are of different types, like when two or more elements or atoms they combine with each other, they form compounds. For example, water is a compound, H2O. Carbon dioxide is also a compound, CO2. So salt, sodium chloride, that is also a compound, NaCl. So there are different types of compounds. All of these are considered as pure substances.